Thrilled to acknowledge this morning that the Placemaking Leadership Forum Day 2 is being held on the traditional territories of the Musqueam, the Squamish, and the Tsleil-Waututh. I want to welcome our live stream audience. Hello out there. Hope that you enjoyed yesterday. Hope you enjoyed today as much. I'm Mary Rowe. I'm a fellow with Project for Public Spaces. What a fabulous time we've had so far. Anybody that lasts till Friday on an all-week conference deserves a medal. How many have been here all week? Okay, then you deserve a medal. Those of you that have just arrived and came in on Wednesday or Thursday, we are counting on you to infuse us with renewed energy. If you see some people flagging, just smile at them. Remind them that Vancouver's a great city, that we're engaged in placemaking around the world, and how important it is for us to all be together. And we're very happy you're here. This morning, we're doing sort of the kind of legwork. So we had an earlier several days of talking and hearing from practitioners who are working in their particular communities in innovative ways on biking and pedestrian life and street life and placemaking in different kinds of ways. And then yesterday we had a chance to really dive into hearing where the research and the academic community leadership is going. And then today we need to really focus our conversation on how do we make this real. 3 weeks from now, the world's national delegations will gather in Quito, Ecuador, and set the course for urban development for the next 20 years, where more infrastructure will be built in that period of time than has been built up until this time. It's an extraordinary level of investment that's going to be made, and your national governments are sitting with national policies that will affect investment, affect engagement, affect governance, and that will affect all the things that we've highlighted that we think placemaking has a valuable intervention to make, the transformative agendas that are in here. And so it's really critical that people understand that today really is about coming up with a tangible set of actions that we can collectively advocate for with our national governments and with our colleagues at the state and provincial levels as well, as the world hurls itself forward to be an urban world. And so we're very appreciative that you're all here with us and engaging with us on that. So highly participatory, lots and lots of engagement today, but at the end of the day, I'm going to be the one up here in the podium really pulling from us what are the tangible kinds of actions and measures that we think we can be taking collectively, and what initiative can you demonstrate locally, and where do you need help from your colleagues? Because the Placemaking Leadership Council that PPS initiated a number of years ago continues to grow from, as Fred suggested yesterday, from a few hundred to several hundred. We'll break, I suspect, 2,000 in the next couple of months. And that's a force. It's a significant force of people that care about placemaking and who are actually engaging it. So I want to just get a few of the housekeeping things done, and then I'll pass to Ethan Kent, Senior Vice President at PPS, who will start our morning off with us. First of all, what a great party last night. And thank you. Wasn't it fabulous? Thank you so much to the SFU Public Square staff and volunteers who worked with many, many, many partners around the city to activate all those spaces. It was a wonderful thing. We've tried as much as possible this week to encourage self-organization, and that's what you saw last night, were various groups that responded to an invitation through SFU to host us that way, and it was a wonderful thing, and we got a chance to rub shoulders with Vancouverites, and some of those installations are going to continue, and I know many of us were really inspired by that, so I'm glad that for all of you who came and were part of it. Somebody asked me, is there a prize for someone that got every stamp on their passport? I'll figure out a prize if one of you has that. So if you've got a passport that's fully stamped, bring it to me, and I'll figure out what we can do. We have many, many sponsors, as you know. I read them out yesterday. I'm now going to read them again. Are you ready? Live stream, J.W. McConnell Family Foundation, thank you for taking us in the airwaves. The Community Foundations of Canada that underwrote the breakfast this morning. The Real Estate Foundation of BC that's underwriting one of the breaks. And then the Axon Johnson Foundation, Future of Places yesterday, the Kresge Foundation, the Future of Places Organization, UN Habitat, the Bass Initiative on Innovation and Placemaking at Brookings, the City of Vancouver, the SFU Center for Dialogue, the SFU Public Square, the Urban Development Institute of Vancouver, the Association of Neighborhood Houses of BC, Southwest Airlines, Kaiser Permanente, Main Street America, Urbanscapes, the World Bank Evergreen, and that's it. And that's what helps make this kind of event happen. All of you. So let's thank all our sponsors. So it's a day of hard work, lots of really close listening, and then some really good focusing on deliverables of what we can all do. Would you welcome, please, Ethan Kent, Senior Vice President of Project for Public Spaces.
So this is a dream come true for me to be here with all of you. I've been imagining this for a long time, and certainly most of you are people that I've learned a lot from. We've all learned a lot from each other. The goal of this event and today is to figure out how we can collectively build that learning into something, activate these networks more. And there's been a lot of great breakout groups of different regions that have been exciting even this morning. Yesterday there was a great one from Latin America that I was part of. And each of these regions is leading in some ways, has some challenges in other ways. We're going to start off this morning actually with a video from our partners in Mexico City, Lugares Públicos, who've been working with us in Southwest Airlines to do a placemaking project there, but also to lead a conversation citywide around placemaking in public spaces. There's great passion and support for public spaces there, but looking at the governance and the public process are particular areas there there's opportunities for innovation and leadership on, and this project demonstrates a lot of that.
Que benefician a la comunidad y no eventos masivos que la verdad los vecinos ya estamos un poquito cansados. Esto es algo padre que beneficia a la gente, el ejercicio, el deporte, las artes, la lectura, la pintura, todo es un programa muy ambicioso, muy bonito que yo creo que...
Community decides their space. The most important thing is to have the local people involved.
Certainly this is an extremely significant space. It's certainly the heart, the soul of the community around us. We found a group of young entrepreneurs and young people very much involved with the community, asking the community for several months what were the activities they would like to see in the park.
We are really happy that plenty of neighbors are coming to us every day asking us for new things, and thanks to Southwest all this will be possible. Our goal is to have our office, our space, our programming open all the time. So if there's people coming with new ideas, there is the possibility for them to be involved in the process.
I think it really provides the best example of what can be done. The smaller the housing is, the more emphasis, the need for a public space, so people can really learn and be able to just relax, have a good time, meet their neighbors and live in peace.
We're so excited. We have more than 30 activities that the community proposed, that the community is part of it. The community is gonna do them. The teachers live in the neighborhood. The people who's having the mobile library have also a library close by. Like, everyone is connected. I believe this place will become the heart of an amazing community.
So Guillermo Bernal is here somewhere. You should stand up, or if you're there, he's back there. He's been doing amazing work on many aspects of placemaking in Mexico City. Cecilia Martinez, who you also saw, is our board member. She's not here right now, but she deserves a lot of thanks for actually putting us on this path. She was the one that came up with the idea for Future of Places. She was head of UN Habitat in the New York office before being, after being head of the Latin American UN Habitat, and has really led a lot of the public spaces conversation through there. So with that, want to sort of give some introductory remarks to our panel, which I'm really excited. These are some of the most amazing speakers. It's going to be a high energy, really fun discussion. But I want to start by saying that, can you start this up? It's not, just get on the screen, there you go. So I want to start by saying that place isn't everything. Despite what this diagram may seem like. And we've seen people take this diagram and say, wait a minute, shouldn't people be at the center of the diagram? And in a way, as Eduardo Santana told us yesterday, he said that people are vessels for a conversation. And I think that's true, but also places can be a vessel for people to have a very powerful conversation. Places can be a vessel for, more than ideas, or people like to talk about other people, we like to gossip, we like to talk about big ideas, but I think that the focus on place at every scale, whether it's the front of your home or how we live together on this earth, facilitates the most constructive, creative conversations about change, but also some of the most fulfilling, meaningful conversations we have. Discussing place and placemaking, adding purpose and meaning to space is a fundamental role of our evolution as a species. But as a species, we're working to figure out how to best live together in place at every scale. That's really our greatest challenge and our greatest job. But our challenge, the problem right now is that we're at a low point in how we participate in shaping our public realm, shaping our shared spaces. And social isolation is a result. And I think perhaps the underlying cause of many of our larger challenges, from health issues to equity issues to terrorism to fear and so forth. But our global challenges on how we all live on this globe, whether on a block or how we understand, they're not just about how we live in our community or understand problems or push solutions, but it's actually how we build our capacity to work together to address these problems, to adopt solutions more quickly and sensitively. So place is a vessel for building our capacity to work together at every scale. Place making, place governance, there's a session on place governance after this. And really, if you look at our focus at PPS over the last 40 years has been taking this place lens to many different challenges or causes, to working with different movements, and showing how a focus on place can help that cause or movement. Each one of these are examples we've worked with, how it can more fundamentally address its challenge, create demand for its ideas, but also support broader collaboration with other partners, again, on every scale. So, and our partnership with Brookings is an example of this, is how do we connect the innovation economy, the innovation world to place? How do we measure how inclusive that is? How do we and I think there's something fundamental about that. Again, it's how do we build our capacity to innovate, to adapt, to evolve, to change? And it's through places and through a series of really creative destinations in the world that the best ideas, the solutions are emerging that are going to sustain us and help us thrive. So there's a paradigm shift from project-led to place-led that we have to keep all moving towards. And we're never always there, but we can always help move the conversation along this as we are continuing holding the conversation around place in our communities. It often starts as a project-led conversation, as a reaction to something. A lot of the best placemaking efforts have come out of a negative reaction to a project. But the biggest danger for placemaking, the limiting factor for placemaking, is often seeing place-sensitive as an end in itself. And a lot of the best practices within placemaking, a lot of the contributions of the disciplines, which are many, are often stopping at place-sensitive. How do we just be responsive to a community and just inclusive of their needs, responsive to culture, environment, context, and in whatever way. And we think that we have to keep pushing them to say, well, the goal isn't just to deliver better projects, but to build the capacity of communities to sustain themselves, to thrive, to drive demand for these solutions, but to build their creativity. That's simply how we're going to be more. We're going to draw the creativity out of more of us. We're going to have more fun. It's going to be more social, more connected. It's the human connections that emerge from place, the social capital that comes out of the focus on place, that build this capacity, that build the resilience and strength of our communities and our further capacity to do placemaking. So as our friends from Southwest Airlines said, that placemaking is owned by everybody, and everybody has a unique role to play. Truly, every person you meet on the street, every way we interact with people on the street, they're all contributing to place, and we can always, in every interaction we have, we can help them engage more in adding to that place. So we want to help see everybody as placemakers to inspire, inform, and structure a larger placemaking movement.